Welcome back to Monday Special. Of course, like we told you tonight, we're talking about weight and health, and we're going to take a look at some statistics here from the World Health Organization. These are statistics on the total deaths of non-communicable diseases for the year 2014 in Kenya. They account for about 27% of total deaths. You can see there, communicable maternal and nutritional conditions, 64%, 256,000 deaths, injuries, 36,000 deaths. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about weight and health issues. Number 3 there, cardiovascular diseases accounted for in 2014, 29,520 deaths. Some of the problems that brought about by weight issues. Cancers, 25,830. Chronic respiratory diseases, 3,690. Also sometimes can be related to weight. Diabetes again can be related to weight. 3,690 cases of deaths, and the rest there are the deaths caused by non-communicable diseases. The next here is body mass index. This will be explained shortly by Jackie Maribe and the panel. BMI there under 18.5. That is BMI of 18.5 means you are underweight and possibly malnourished. 18.5 to 24.9 you call healthy. Those are healthy weights. 25 to 29.9, that is overweight, and over 30 you are called or known to be obese. Right, tonight we're talking about weight and health issues. Jackie Maribe now is where we're closer to Jackie Maribe and the panel. We're talking about weight and health issues. Talk to us on 22422 on Twitter using the hashtag MondaySpecialKE. What do you think about the topic? Jackie.
Indeed, and thank you for joining us on a Monday Special. My name is Jackie Maribe, and tonight there is a crisis in modern-day Kenya, and it has a lot to do with your lifestyle choices. It could be genetic. We're talking weighty matters tonight, weight and your health. Now, Kenya's health burden is set to worsen by about 7.8 million people reported to be overweight. A decade-long study by the Global Disease Burden carried out by 500 researchers globally in 188 countries indicates that 6 million Kenyans are overweight, 1.8 million are obese. And just to discuss this topic tonight, I will introduce my panel. To my immediate left, we have Monica. Monica, if you could introduce yourself.
I'm Monica Uma. And Emada.
All right. Next to Monica, we have Janet.
Oh, I'm Janet Wambui from Banana.
Next, we have Monica again.
My name is Monica Mbogwa, HR consultant.
All right. We have Dr. Eric Njenga.
My name is Dr. Eric Njenga, physician instructor in endocrinology at the Khan University Hospital.
All right. And finally, we have Dr. Ludmila Shukina.
My name is Dr. Ludmila Shukina. I am doctor of East African Bariatric Clinic. I am also founder of Ideal Weight and Healthy Living Campaign. And also organizer of first annual anti-obesity symposium in Kenya.
All right. Now, this report that I'm referring to was released in December last year by the University of Washington's Institute of Health, Metric and Evaluation, and it blames the problem on lack of exercise and a passion for sedentary lifestyles. I'll go straight to you, Dr. Eric Njenga. Do you agree that we have a weight problem due to lack of passion for exercise and a sedentary lifestyle?
Yeah, that is true. Currently in our country, due to the demands of employment, people are actually working very long hours. Again, also right from childhood, people are not exposed also to exercise, and it's not part of our culture. Even for the young children, watching too much TV at home and other practices like video games. So people are growing up into a culture where they're not exercising adequately. And again, also our diet has a lot to be desired for. So there are some of the key factors that are actually contributing to the upsurge of obesity in our population today.
All right.
Yes.
Dr. Ludmila, this is an issue that, does not know any age. It cuts across children and it cuts across adults. Now, you deal with children on this issue?
Yeah, we do obesity treatment in our clinic. I work with obesity for more than 15 years in Kenya. Obesity treatment in Kenya, that's what we do. Obesity is affecting adults as well as children, and it is growing every year. Because 10 years ago we had only 9% of Kenyan population obese and overweight. Now in our area here in Nairobi, around 55% of Nairobi population have obesity and overweight. Children in private school, 29%. So it's a big issue as well as children, and the same also adults.
All right. I'll come to you, Monica Auma. Tell us your story. Do you know your weight currently? How has it been dealing with it, and does it have an effect on your health?
Yeah, it's been a hard journey because losing weight is actually a difficult thing. But when you are actually overweight, it gets harder for you to be able to move around and mingle with the age bracket of around you. Many of you will actually isolate you, thinking that you are actually old, but you are young, so you can't actually mingle with them.
How old are you, Monica?
I'm 27. Yeah.
But people confuse you to be what age generally?
Like 30s, 50s, 40s, yeah.
50?
Yeah, there was actually some day a mother said, like, "Well, mother, actually, how old are you? How do you feel? I think you're actually overweight." And I actually told her that I know that, but I'm trying to do something about it. Yeah.
How much do you weigh currently?
Right now I'm actually 158.
158.
Yeah.
All right. Is this something that has been there since birth? Have you had a weight problem, so to speak, or is this something that came up, as you became an adult?
It's something actually came after I delivered. Yeah, actually. So I started just adding weight.
After you delivered?
Yeah.
All right. I'll cross to you, Dr. Eric Njenga. This is a common case. You go, you get pregnant, you deliver, and then you add weight and it doesn't stop?
Right. Pregnancy after pregnancy, at times it's normal that women are going to put on a certain amount of weight, but there's an expected weight that women should not exceed during the course of the pregnancy. Subsequently, after they deliver, at times it can be difficult to actually lose some of the weight. And for some people, that's why they have to be sensitized early enough that even after they deliver, proper diet, exercise, to enable them to regain the previous weight that they had is something that should be emphasized even as they're going through their clinics, as they bring their babies to the clinics. So I think that's something that has to be emphasized by both the nurses and also the doctors in our society.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll cross to you, Janet. You're not a new face on television. In fact, in recent years, you have publicly come out very comfortable with your weight. Tell us your story. Is this also something that came about as you grew up, or was it from birth?
Okay, mine is genetic. I was born like that. Okay, since I was small, so I don't have any problem. I don't have any disease. I have 2 boys. I just get normal delivery. I just walk. I like dancing. Mine it's okay. It's all right.
All right. You're saying yours is genetic. Is this something that has also been passed on to your children?
No, my children, they are not big, but my dad is big. My cousins are big, so it's a genetic. Yeah.
All right. I'll cross to you, Dr. Shukina. Is this something, again, that's common, that you can get this because it is hereditary, it was passed to you, but then it stops somewhere and it doesn't cross over to generations?
The thing is that there are a lot of studies done on causes of obesity. Really huge studies are done. More than 50 years America is studying this issue, and it was proved that in most cases it's not genetic. Genetic obesity, very, very, very rare, maybe 0.01%. Most cases are acquired obesity. This is lifestyle disease. So when person is saying that he has a genetic obesity, this is due to genes or due to metabolism, he's automatically blocking himself from doing something about it. So I want each person to look at it and think about it, and each person, I want to know that obesity is possible to treat. You can lose your weight, especially after bariatric surgery, which is most modern treatment of obesity for class 3, class 4 or 5 obesity. Obesity is treated now very well. We have very effective treatment of obesity. So you can lose weight very well, and it's nothing to do with your genes. That is what that can be even my offer. We do your treatment, and you will see that it's nothing to do with your genes, and you can really lose your weight, and you can become 58. We were assessing your weight. Your ideal weight 58. You can lose your weight, and you can get your 58 kilos with bariatric surgery.
All right, Janet, how much do you weigh right now?
I'm 150 now.
150.
Yeah.
Listening to the doctor here, is this something that you would want to consider, or you're comfortable?
Yeah, I'm comfortable. I want to stay like that.
Why? Tell us why.
People get shocked. Wow, Momo is slim. Why? What's happening? Yeah.
You need to
I want to slim about 120 there. Yeah.
But Monica, you want to lose 100 kgs.
Actually, I just want to weigh like 80. If I can weigh 80, I'll be actually more comfortable.
Why is that? Have you just been through so much with people talking? Is it something that you've gotten to a point that you can't handle anymore?
Yeah, actually, when you use public matatus, when you enter in a mat, you sit, people will actually pass you by. Actually, when the matatu is full, somebody could come and sit to the next seat because there is no way.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I feel so terrible about that. I feel like, why are they isolating me? Am I having something very dangerous? And I got to a point I started realizing I have to lose weight. I have to get fit for me to be able to love myself.
What are you doing about it now, if this is something that you want to do?
Actually, I try sometimes jogging around the neighborhood. Actually, that helps.
Have you taken any other steps?
I watch my diet. Yeah.
What do you eat?
Right now, I eat healthy. I don't take a lot of junk. I can actually do my plate. I place it well with a lot of vegetables, a little bit of starch and protein.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of losing weight and a journey on losing weight, we cross over to Monica. You were a contestant on one of our shows here on Citizen TV, Slim Possible. Tell us about your journey. How much did you weigh when you came onto the show? How much do you weigh now? And why did you, have that desire to lose that weight?
When I first came on the program, I was 105 kgs. I lost 30 kgs by the end of the show. I've since added around 5 kgs, so I'm somewhere around 80 kgs. What my desire is that I had started developing high blood pressure, and for me, I felt that it was unhealthy. So my desire was to start being healthy, and it has been an awesome journey. I think one thing that I was also, like Janet, I was very content with myself, and I was very okay because I was active. But after losing the weight, I now realize the other benefits that come with it. I'm a lot more active. I'd previously sent people, everybody, because I could not move. I could even send my mother around, which really used to upset her. But now I do it I am more active, and I'm able to do things myself.
Since the weight loss, how have you been able to maintain it?
I would say the biggest thing that I have done and changed is my eating. I would actually say that my eating has significantly changed, especially what I used to previously do was I'd skip breakfast and skip meals, and then when I finally get to eat, I will now compensate and eat a 3-in-1 meal, and so that would really not help me, especially eating very late at night. But I have since learned how to eat regularly and eat sensibly and avoid junk.
All right. We cross to Dr. Njenga. Tell us from what she's saying, how does what we eat affect our weight and, consequently our health?
Yeah, so basically the key thing to remember that whatever you put in, if you don't expend or use that calorie intake, you're going to put on weight. So that excess calorie will be deposited as fat tissue. So the key thing is to watch, especially the macronutrients, your carbohydrates. You can minimize those portions. If you minimize those portions, at the same time, if you exercise, you're going to end up expending most of those calories that you're actually taking in, and that will help you lose weight. So a good point that she actually brought out in terms of she tried to skip meals, which is not a good idea, because we advocate that the meals remain frequent. Your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. Because if you skip the meals, at times you slow down your metabolism. And now the process of actually burning this excess calorie intake becomes much more difficult.
All right.
Yeah, and another key thing is willpower, like she says. So the first step, dieting is not very easy. Exercise is not very easy. But the first thing, the problem in our country is that we all wait for the dramatics to happen. You know, I'm diagnosed with hypertension, I'm diagnosed with diabetes. That's when I'm now shaken and I decide I need to lose weight.
All right.
Yeah.
On the one hand, there are people who have a problem with high metabolism. On the other hand, there are people who just have slow metabolism. So how does this work exactly, and especially when it concerns weight, rather?
Yeah, so for the issue regarding slow metabolism, that can definitely occur in some individuals. There are some who are able to have an excessive calorie intake but don't develop so much weight gain. But the key thing is just remember that for all people, we try to standardize the diets as much as we can. Each diet, of course, will be tailor-made to the individual. But the key thing to remember that as long as the meals, like we said, are not skipped, are followed well, and the person is able to at least monitor how much calorie intake that they're able to, each calorie, does look at the portions in each meal and look at the amount of exercise they're actually carrying out per day. And that can be a rough estimate of how much calories they're going to burn in a single day, and which will translate into weight loss.
All right. For instance, in a normal, I don't know whether our camera will be able to catch this.
Demonstrate this for you.
Yes.
So these are some of the plates we use in our clinic when we are trying to advise some of our patients. And what we advocate for, so in your plate, is that you have this line moving across the plate. That whole entire section should be vegetables. And for the vegetables, we say make it as varied as possible. Yeah? Have a huge variety of vegetables.
Just lift it like this.
Yes.
To see. Okay.
So as many colors, actually we call it the rainbow pattern. Put in as many vegetables as you can, because these are what contain your essential micronutrients. So your vitamins and all the other essential elements like zinc, which are useful in other purposes like healing and repair mechanisms in the body. And the lower half of your plate, you now divide it again into two halves again. So this is your starch portion, and that's your protein. So again, for your starch, another rough estimate of how we advocate for how we should consume our starch. We have this cup here. It's a good estimate. It's roughly 250 mils. So we say that you shouldn't consume more than 1 cup of cooked food. So this is what is going to be your measure of rice, your measure of ugali, your measure of matoke, mashed potatoes, whatever it is that you're doing. And another rough estimate that you can use, if you are serving food, let's say you are going for a wedding or wherever you are serving food at a buffet, you can use the size of your fist. So your fist is a rough estimate of what I should not exceed. So when you take your serving spoon and put on the plate, quickly make a fist to try and estimate the amount of starch you're putting on your plate. And the remaining portion now is your protein. And white meat is what is actually better, chicken, fish. If you're going to have red meat, it has to be lean, meaning that you trim the fat. And for chicken, try and remove the skin, because that has a lot of fat content within, a lot of cholesterol. And it's better that it's either steamed or even fried with minimal oil. But deep frying is not, has a lot, that again adds on to the cholesterol burden of the meal itself. So quick division of the plate is key things to remember. Vegetables, upper half, and your macronutrients, your starch and protein, on the lower half. Yes.
What happens if someone, sort of cheats on this? Because, how you're saying you should weigh like a fist, I don't know whether you have experienced that. You would just really want to serve.
Yeah.
Or if the meat is good, you want to serve and you don't have the time to peel off the skin from the chicken.
Yeah.
What happens when you cheat on the portions that you're supposed to have?
Yeah, that's where the issue of now willpower comes in. It's a decision that you have to consciously take each time. If you are determined to lose weight, then you have to have the willpower to go ahead and lose that weight.
All right.
So you have to make sure that each portion that you're serving has to meet those recommendations. If you do that and you exercise, we'll talk about exercise later on, and you're definitely going to meet your target.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, you can engage with us on 22422. What are your thoughts on weight and your health? Share your comments. If you are going through an overweight problem or obesity, talk to us, send us a short message on 22422. Of course, leave your name and the location. You can talk to us on Twitter as well at Citizen TV Kenya. The hashtag is Monday Special, but don't go away. when we come back, we find out how to measure your body mass index right after these messages. Alright, welcome back to Monday Special. We're of course discussing weighting matters, having an interesting time with my panel here. And right now we want to talk about body mass index. This is one method that's used to estimate your total amount of body fat, and it is calculated by dividing your weight in kilograms by your height in meters squared. So we're going to cross over with my panel, if you could join me here, to Kevin, who is going to assist us tonight on measuring our BMI.
So you remove your shoes first.
So calm down.
You need to be barefoot.
As Kevin is explaining, you need to be barefoot to get the right height.
Just a minute.
Welcome. Stand station.
Just there. Move forward a little bit and stand straight. Put our head in front a little bit. There.
Weight 164.9.
It's done. Let's come down now.
157 centimeters. Thank you.
So it gives a printout with height, weight, and BMI down there.
Alright, so this gives you a printout. Your height is 157 centimeters. You're 5'2". Monica, you can come back and sit down. Your weight is 164.9 kilograms.
BMI is down there.
So the BMI, Dr. Njenga will be able to talk to us about that. We'll give Dr. Njenga. Janet?
You come down, you can just step over.
Welcome. Stand stable.
You need to be bare feet, then stand tall, move forward a little bit. Move forward. Yeah, just stand straight. Yeah, it's done. Just come down now. Your height is 162.5 centimeters, 5 feet tall, 172.3 kgs. Your BMI is 65.2.
All right.
Yeah, it's high.
Janet, you can take your seat. Doctor will be able to analyze that for us.
Welcome. Stand stable.
Just move forward a little bit and stand in the middle. Put your legs together. Put your legs together. Put your legs together first. It won't measure. Yeah. Yeah, there. Just a minute. Yeah, it's done. Just come down. Yeah, these are the results.
Just wait for us.
Yeah. Height is 5'2". Weight is 89.1 kgs. Then, as in BMI is 35.9.
All right.
Should be between 19 and 25.
All right. And Monica is insisting this is not true. This is I guess I should ask you before I take your microphone. How accurate is this machine?
It is very accurate. Yeah, it's very accurate.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're just going to discuss this with Daktari. If you could have Monica's results. We'll start with Monica Uma because she was fast. Before we start, Daktari, tell us, you know, how BMI is supposed to work. What is the least and the maximum? When are you underweight? When are you overweight? And when are you obese?
Okay. So, like you rightly pointed out, so the normal range will be from 19 to 25. So below 19, that is now underweight. So above 25, you cross over into what is called now overweight, the overweight category. That is ranges from 25 up to 30. Then you have another category from 30 up to 35, which is mild obesity. Then you have 35 up to 40, which is moderate. Then severe or morbid obesity is more than 40. And even for the obesity itself, again, there are grades from class 1, 2, and 3. 40 to 50, 50 to 60, more than 60. 60 being class 3. Yes.
Wow, so you can go all the way to 60.
Yeah.
All right. Let's discuss Monica Uma's BMI.
So Monica's BMI, with a height of 157 and a weight of 164 kilograms, her BMI comes to 66.9. Then for...
What does that mean?
So that now it's more than 60, so we'll class that it's class under morbid obesity, class 3.
All right.
Yeah.
What are the risks? Sorry, before you move to Janet, what are the risks of this morbid obesity? What does it come with? You know, in terms of her health, what should she be careful about?
Okay, so the lifestyle diseases are the key things to actually worry about, the commonest being diabetes and hypertension. With excessive fat distribution, the insulin, which is a hormone in our body that enables us now to move sugar from the bloodstream into our tissues, mostly the muscle tissue, now encounters a lot of resistance. So it's produced, but it's not able to act effectively because of all the fat tissue around.
And this is type 2 diabetes?
That is type 2 diabetes, yeah. So that's when now you can develop complications like diabetes, you can develop subsequently hypertension, and with that now come many other complications, which now include things like heart attack, which we call myocardial infarction. You can develop stroke, you can develop things like diseases affecting the blood vessels of the limbs, called peripheral vascular disease. And also, there's also an association with some malignancies also, because also obesity itself can have a predisposition to certain types of cancer itself.
All right, Monica, have you ever been tested for any of the 3, hypertension, type 2 diabetes? Has this been any of concern to you?
Yes, actually, I was tested, but I don't have them. But I actually don't want to reach there. Yeah.
Is this possible with a BMI of over 60? That you cannot suffer from any of the above?
Definitely it gives you a significant risk of developing those conditions. But there are individuals who may have even morbid obesity and may not develop diabetes or hypertension or other complications. Again, like we said, genetics and now play a very key role in this particular regard. So diabetes, for example, type 2 diabetes are a very strong genetic component. So in addition to lifestyle issues of sedentary lifestyle, obesity, smoking, also family history plays a significant role.
When you hear about the risks this poses to your health with a BMI of over 60, I know you've already expressed your desire to shed off this weight, but now when you hear about what it can do to your health, the risks that are posed, what does this make you feel? Where does it take you?
Actually, it leaves me wanting to lose weight more, because I'm actually in a risk. I'm in a high risk where I can actually develop them. So I want to prevent them before I reach there. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Janet. Janet, you look Janet, you look like you're about to grab it away from the doctor. All right.
So
what's Janet's BMI?
For Janet, she has a height of 162 centimeters, a weight of 172 kilograms, and a BMI of 65.2. Yeah.
All right.
Which again is class 3 morbid obesity. Yeah.
Same risks on your health, Janet?
Just legs when I go long distance, and sometimes heartbeat. Yeah, when I was told like something which is shocked. Yeah, I don't have any problem.
Have you had a conversation with your doctor on any of these things, diabetes and hypertension, or have you ever been diagnosed for any of the above? Not at all. But when you hear about the risk that it poses to you, in fact you said you're very comfortable and you do not want to shed off this weight, but now when you hear your BMI is over 60, does this take you anywhere?
It shocked me, and I will follow the instruction now.
Does it make you want to lose weight, or you're still comfortable?
Still comfortable.
All right. And before we go to Monica, in as far as, let me go to Dr. Shukina, in as far as what she can do to keep healthy despite being, you know, obese, over 60 BMI. It's 65, Dr. Mjenga?
66.9.
No, how's it 66?
66.9 for Monica and 65.2 for Janet.
65.2 for Janet.
Yes.
Dr. Shukina, she would not want to shed the weight, but she would want to remain healthy. How can she do that?
It's not possible. Not possible. The thing is that BMI above 30, it is already obesity. This is already disease which is called obesity. So Japanese are recognizing obesity from BMI 28 even. So it means when person has obesity, it means he is at the risk to develop different diseases. So class 1 obesity, BMI 30 to 35, class 2 35 to 39.9. Class 3, 40 and above. For BMI 50, it is super obesity or severe obesity. So now we have BMI 65.2. This is super obesity. When patient has super obesity, there is no single organ or single system which is not suffering in this condition. The way how you said, when you are walking, you have a heartbeat. So you see, your heart is working for like for 2.5 people. So your heart should work for 62 kilos. Your ideal weight should be 60 to 62. So your heart is definitely overworking. Your pancreas is overworking. Your joints overworking. Till the person is young, she can be still, like Monica is saying, no problem. But with the time, definitely you will start feeling knee problem, legs are swollen. Already you know that your legs are swollen.
What would be, sorry, the solution therefore for Janet? She wants to be healthy. She's not in a hurry to lose the weight, but she's saying this is not possible to maintain both. She can't sort of, you know, to say have her cake and eat it too. What solutions would you give Janet?
Janet needs definitely to lose weight. The best thing for you to be healthy, to save your health, to save your quality of life for your children, for your family, most important for you, and to feel happy and healthy. And definitely you need to analyze it, to think about it, and to decide how to lose weight. And in terms, there is no one even recommendation for everyone. Like for in Janet's case, this is super obesity. This is classical morbid obesity. So according to the guidelines of European Health Institute, if patient has morbid obesity, BMI 40 and above, or if patient have BMI 30 and he has already complications of only 30 and complications of obesity, like if person has 30 BMI and diabetes, the best treatment and most effective treatment is bariatric surgery. Because in most cases, diet and exercises, food supplements are not effective. They are not giving effective weight loss and maintenance. With dieting and exercises, to lose weight is impossible in morbidly obese people. So for you, the best option would be bariatric surgery, which we do in Kenya. We are using 4 different methods of bariatric surgery. We do gastric sleeve resection, which is quite safe, quite common, most used in the world procedure, very effective procedure. We do also gastric bundle. We do gastric bypass. Gastric bypass would be also quite good option for you. So it is just to discuss with your bariatric surgeon and to decide which procedure to do. When a person does bariatric surgery, it's important to know, because you need to lose I think more than 70% of your body weight. With bariatric surgery, we are able to lose up to 70% of your body weight, which is not possible with dieting and exercises.
All right, we'll let Janet and Monica take that in. I see Janet, a bit of a reaction there. Let's quickly cross over to Monica. Tell us her BMI.
So for Monica, her height is 157 centimeters with a weight of 89.1 kilograms, which translates to a BMI of 35.9.
35 points?
Yeah, 35.9.
0.9. Yeah. Where is she on the scale?
So she's already now she's already in the obesity range, from 30 to 35. So she's just borderline there between 35.
Class 2 obesity.
Yeah, class 2 obesity.
Class 2 obesity. The difference between morbid obesity and her obesity class 2.
So that now will come now when you're looking at the indications for weight loss, like what she's discussing about, who would qualify for bariatric surgery, and who would benefit from these simple lifestyle measures like diet and exercise.
Same risk factors involved?
So risk factors, definitely. The more the BMI, the higher the risk factors involved. So they're all at, once you cross over 30, specifically 30, and the risk factors now become quite significant. But the higher the BMI, the greater the risk.
As we said, Monica was a contestant on our show Slim Possible, and of course there was a lot of exercise that went into it. You still exercise to date?
Yes, but definitely not as
much as as was on the show.
Yes.
How, without the surgery, would you therefore lose the weight if you're exercising and maintaining to a schedule where you can jog, you can do all types of exercise?
Okay, so the key thing with exercise that people have to understand, the first step, like we said, one has to be committed. You have to have the willpower. But the next step is now, what is the recommended minimum cumulative exercise minutes that you have to have in a week? So what is recommended that you have to accumulate at least 200 minutes per week. And for a proper regime, that will translate to roughly 1 hour, 4 sessions per week, which will give you around 240 minutes of exercise per week. So that can be difficult, but you can start off initially with 30 minutes. They'd say at least for if you want to try and combat obesity and you want to try and maximize on caloric loss in terms of burning fat, at least make sure you're moving for 30 minutes per day. That is the first rule. So start off with 30 minutes of exercise, then try and build up on that to reach to 1 hour. Once you get to 1 hour, try and target 4 sessions per week, and ensure that you don't stay more than 48 hours between the exercise sessions. So you can plan it on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, for example.
All right. Hussein, do you know your BMI?
I don't want to talk about it, Jackie, but I'll find out towards the end. After the show is done, of course, I'll find it out. Let me take a look at what is important, what Kenyans are saying, and some of the questions they are asking tonight.
Your BMI is important as well, Hussein.
Kenyans are more important, Jackie. How do you measure, somebody says, how do you measure how much to eat for breastfeeding mothers? Another person says, please talk about weight gain and not obesity. I eat well but can't seem to gain. What do you recommend I eat to gain weight? That is Diana. And somebody says, weight problem also affects small people. Ask the doctors how one can add weight in a healthy way. And another concern, I hope you're noting that down, another concern is some say you may have a slim body but you're not eating very healthy. Does that mean you're good to go? And plus weight in children, what is the best way to have in children? Some are called bouncing babies and all, and they may be having such crazy weight.
All right, I'll start with you, Dr. Shukina. Let's start with Hussein's last question there. Weight in children, and especially coming at a time where we live in a society where it's so difficult for parents to say no to giving their children junk food, chips and chicken on demand, sausages on demand. How do you handle obesity in children?
When I have patients, for example, when I have obese child in the clinic, recommendations of specialists are that we start working with mama. If it is child 5 years old, 6 years old, they are first of all we have to work with the mama, because mama is the one who is influencing on child's eating habits. And there were some studies done recently, and it was showing that when in the family, when father is obese, chances for the child to be obese are minimal. But when mama is obese, chances for the child to be obese are very high. So it means that mama is the one who is influencing on child's weight. But in Israel, if we take now Europe, how Europe is approaching obesity in children, starting from 16 years old, if it is morbid obesity in 16 years old child, already bariatric surgery is done. So Europe is fighting obesity very actively and very aggressively.
All right. Dr. Njenga, is there a problem when it comes to children and lifestyle? Do parents overexpose them to a certain lifestyle where we have a can't say no culture and we allow them to eat not the portions that you were showing us, but they can basically have what they want, and this affecting their weight and of course their health?
Yeah, definitely. And it starts early on. So when they are exposed to junk food and excessive amounts of junk food, they're going to put on weight gradually as they age. And by the time they're approaching 20, some of them already could be already in the range of whether mild obesity or even morbid obesity. And another key thing, not only looking at diet, but again, like I said earlier in the show, looking at lifestyle. Even in schools, we may not have adequate play area for most of our children. They're not able to exercise adequately to try and burn off these calories. Again, also, like we said, there's the culture of PlayStation games, which now keep the kids, TV, which keep the kids at home. So the lifestyle one is sedentary. Number two, their eating habits, which also could be fostered by the parents. So discipline is an important aspect to actually look at. And again, that's sensitizing the children early enough about the importance of losing weight, keeping fit, and that has to come from the parents. So the parents have to show their children how to exercise, encourage them to play sports. That is what is useful.
What about the reverse questions that of course are coming from the public, those who simply can't gain weight? And I think I fall in that category. Because really you will eat and eat and eat and not keep to again what you're saying, but eat as much and it just simply does not have any effect on your weight. Talk to us very quickly about that.
So that is basically based on a parameter called your basal metabolic rate, which varies from one individual to another. So some could have an elevated basal metabolic rate, and again it translates to a simple equation. Whatever you put in has to be consumed or has to be expended in the form of energy. So if your basal metabolic rate is high, regardless of how much you may consume, some people may not put on they may not put on weight because they don't have excess calories to deposit as fat tissue. Some have a very slow basal metabolic rate, and they may consume small amounts of food, but even that small amount of food, their basal metabolic rate is so low that again it's not expended and again it's stored as fat tissue. So that varies from individual to individual.
All right, Monica mentioned not eating now before you go to bed, and this is a concern that so many people have, and some people of course may take it for granted. When I leave here, I'm going to go home straight, I'm hungry, I'll eat, then go to bed. What time difference should you have between the time you have your dinner or your supper and the time you actually sleep?
So what we advocate for is try to have your supper early enough, preferably around 7 o'clock. Give yourself 2 hours, because in that 2 hours you'll have moved around, you'll have expended some calories, as opposed to someone who eats late supper, for example 10 o'clock, and goes straight to bed.
My director Kanze refuses. Kanze says she's working now, she'll go home, she'll want to sleep, and she's hungry. So there's no 2-hour difference.
It's difficult, especially for shift workers, for example. If you finish work late, most of us, even as doctors and not other professions also, that becomes a huge challenge. But what you want to try and minimize that if you eat, then you immediately go to bed, no calories are going to be expended. So all that is easily converted.
What if you do this on a daily, because then, and I'll cross over to you, Dr. Shukina, because then, you know, you really don't have a choice, right? Hussein, you're cringing. Hussein, do you eat right before you sleep?
Yeah, sometimes I'm forced to.
Sometimes you're forced to. Dr. Shukina, what if you do it on a daily basis simply because you just don't have a choice? You leave work late, for instance, and you're tired, so you have hunger on the one hand and you have sleep on the other hand. If you do this on a daily basis, what effect will it have on your weight?
That is what's worrying you, yeah? From my knowledge and my experience, and from all those studies which were done by scientists regarding obesity, there is no problem in that. If your amount of calories, which you should take every day, 1,800 calories, if your last meal was at 10 o'clock in the evening, and before that you've taken already 1,200 calories, and your late evening dinner will be 10 o'clock and 600 calories. You can eat 10 o'clock, go to sleep, you are very safe, you will not put on weight. But what if by 7 o'clock or by 5 o'clock you will finish 3,000 calories, and after 5 o'clock you don't eat at all? Definitely you will put on weight. So there is no problem with late eating, provided that you are eating the right way, right food, balanced food, proteins, vitamins, amino acids, vegetables, and you are not exceeding calories.
All right. Hussein, we have responses?
Right here on Twitter, and we're going to take a full board of them now. This is what you are saying on Twitter tonight. CEO Mark Darcascos, children should be forced to do exercises for them to reduce their weight. Makena Faidah, no matter how you slice it, weight loss comes down to the simple formula of calories in, calories out.
Many men says, ask the doctor, how does one sort the bad smell associated with obesity and what causes it? Anthony Mutugi asks, you guys forgot the underweight. I need advice. My BMI is 18.1. We handled that, Anthony.
Right, and you checked your BMI?
Actually, thank you for asking, Hussein, because I really wanted you to go there and check your BMI. We cannot close this show. Kanze has refused. It's not me, it's the director.
We really don't have time. But anyway, thank you, of course, for your comments on number 2422 and on Twitter. And thank you for watching Monday Special. First of all, we take a look at some pictures we have tonight of the flooding that is happening in Nairobi. That is after the heavy downpour tonight. This is somebody's car.
Wow. Is this inside?
This is inside the car. You can see his knees. Look at that. This is all these pictures, by the way, this is Nairobi. What has happened tonight? That is a matatu, if I can make that out. Yeah. This is Madaraka. Agadi Way. Look at that. There's an accident there. Very sad.
And I understand there are a lot of accidents tonight, and a lot of people leaving their cars on the road simply because they can't just, the roads are impassable tonight. Wow, where's that, Hussein?
I can't make that out, but it looks like Mutugi, I believe so, yeah.
All right.
Somebody in the border. Yeah, really sad pictures. Be careful tonight wherever you may be driving or walking. Of course, this the rain is a blessing, but it can also be disastrous. And we've heard, of course, from the meteorological department that this situation is going to prevail for a while.
Quite a while. All right, thank you so much, of course, for joining us every Monday on Monday Special. My name is Jackie Maribe. Again, I do not believe we should close this show without you saying knowing. And I'll just ask the two doctors, when someone refuses to know their BMI, is it because they could not be within that range?
I think he's in
he just looks like he is.
I'm good to go.
His looks might be your looks might be.
Expert opinion. She doesn't even need me to go.
Is that your expert opinion?
But they'll be
sure his is normal.
We'll get this machine from Kevin again when the cameras are not rolling, because Hussein is feeling a bit shy. But thank you so much for joining us. Let's do this again on Monday. My name is Jackie Maribe. Good night and God bless.
I've never been shy. Good night. I'm Hussein Mohammed.